Hello again, Power Ranger family, friends, and fans. Steve Andrino, aka Baboo, here on a Monster Monday. So, time for another episode of Baboo's Monster Review. We are up to episode 16. This is an episode entitled Switching Places. What has since become a very common trope in movies, TV shows, whatever, to have a couple of the characters switch places, either purposefully impersonating one another or just trying to take over each other's job for the day, or where your mind actually gets switched through a dream, a wish, a failed experiment, whatever. So let's go ahead and take a look and see who's getting switched and what ends up happening because of it. Actually, for a change, this episode actually starts out with the monsters. In this case, it's Squat, who sneaks into Billy's garage and decides to mess with his experiment. Switched a couple things around. Now, I'm going to assume, knowing how difficult it was to see in the costumes, that was filmed without Squat's head on. So whoever was in the costume at that point could actually see what they were doing. Unplugging the wires might not have been difficult, but plugging them back in would most definitely have been hard to do with the head on.
When Billy tests this new gizmo, his head will be scrambled like an omelet.
And of course, now for the wider shot, after it's already done, you can put the head on them.
They won't pay attention to what Rita's doing.
So now this actually, the way this goes off, it almost seems like...
Now you can send down a
Well, first of all, it's not Goldar, it's Squat that says that. But this seems like this was Squat's idea all on his own, which is, surprising. But hey, let's give credit where credit is due. And Rita seems pretty happy with what he's done so far. And Baboo's sucking up to Rita, per usual. I'm not getting yelled at. I want to suck up as much as possible. Okay. Oh, no, that's what we need to go to. Faster speed. Wow. A little slow, and as you can tell, my voice is still a little out of it from convention last weekend, and me working straight through since then.
It's still in the experimental stage, but I'm sure it'll work.
Did you hear that? Sounded like a dog.
I love that. I mean, he's true. It did sound like a dog.
No.
Skull was right. It was a dog.
Read people's minds. If you had a mind to read, imagine the possibilities.
The apparatus is somewhat...
Okay, this is just kind of a weird looking machine where they've actually got the cutouts for the arms and something around them, and they have to hold hands. I guess, though,
don't worry.
there has to be some kind of physical connection for the mind transfer or mind reading capabilities to work.
Okay, now I just have to flip down the select
But as
button.
we know, Squat already messed with the machine, so...
Are you
I
ready?
wonder how come the barking got softer as
Let me make one more adjustment.
the dog got closer.
What do you want? Nice
Looked like a friendly doggy until they did the close-up of him barking. Okay, so we have a, flashing back and forth between them. There's a little bit of shaking going on to indicate something's wrong.
Billy?
Kimberly?
Like, what happened?
The generator experienced diathermic overload.
What?
We've undergone spatial personality displacement.
Will you please, speak English?
I love... They did a good job switching. Now I'm going to say this is kind of weird, though. We already had for, the Baboo episode, Power Ranger Punks, where he used the potion to turn them into the punks, and it was only Billy and Kimberly, because they conveniently knocked all the drinks over. But once again, it's Billy and Kimberly have something special or different going on. Okay, so now we know the monster is going to be the Genie. We have the magic lamp from Canine 4 of the Wolfhead's Galaxy. Keep that in mind.
Once and for all.
Have you got it, Squat? Well, what are you waiting for? Go on, rub the lamp.
So again, typical Genie in the lamp story, 5,000 years old or more.
Are you a genie? At your service.
And then we have the Genie, who is very distinctly dog or wolf looking. Kind of weird. Any other depiction I've seen of genies, whether we're talking about the Disney version of Aladdin or 1001 Arabian Nights or any other bunch of movies or TV shows, the genies normally look human, at least waist up. The bottom half is maybe a little more undefined, shall we say. It kind of tapers off like it's smoke coming out of the lamp or whatever. But it always seems that the genies are mostly human. So this was kind of an interesting take. I may do a separate, short Genie episode like I've done with the Minotaur and the Sphinx. However, that may be a little bit, and I'll get into that at the end of this episode. But here we have the dog-looking Genie.
Well, what do you know? It worked. Genie, you are going to be sent down to Earth, and there you will attack the Power Rangers and destroy them. Is that understood? Your wish is my command.
Okay, he didn't actually say I wish, and all they really had to do is say, I wish the Power Rangers didn't exist. Done. Game over. No more Power Rangers. Rita takes over. Yeah, but then we wouldn't have 29 other seasons of the Power Rangers in some form or another, so let's see how this actually plays out. Okay. And here we have Bulk and Skull sneaking into Billy's lab.
I saw how he did it.
I saw how he did it, with you being chased by a dog and or the door closed.
Think of something, and I'm gonna try and read your mind.
Okay.
Hey, Paul. Can I think of Kimberly?
Maybe there's a window he saw through while he was running. I don't know. And again, that would explain why if he just took a quick glance, why they didn't realize it went wrong. Now, these guys go all out for something going wrong. All the head shaking and lip movements and noise and stuff. Whereas Kimberly and Billy just give a little, oh, something's wrong, and they're speaking, like each other. These two went all out. That was actually a pretty good skull laugh by Bulk. And once again, we get the scream.
Talk about a major person. Keisha, Stephanie, look.
No idea who the extras were that actually got a line. That's always cool.
Can you show me how to do file sorting?
Yeah, push Shift F4, and then you.
And then, of
push
course,
the grunge button over in the corner.
But that's the delete.
Kimberly trying to be smart like Billy. Billy trying to put on makeup, which obviously wasn't going to work. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Billy's never seen a home ec class before. Gotta wonder how they got the extras to agree to get splashed with whatever.
I don't know. I think
That seems like it's a little over and above.
What'd you do that for?
Maybe they actually were considered special extras for that. If they were, it's a little bit more money.
Cheese souffle.
Okay. I'm going to guess that's obviously just a balloon covered with something. And then, of course, the computer blowing up. The politics of energy. Billy apparently trying to solve the Middle East problems. I don't know. Okay, so here we go. Back to SWAT. Back to the moon
Can
base.
he beat the Power Rangers? I shall destroy them. Hey, I like this guy. We'll send you down to Earth inside the lab so Zordon can't detect your arrival.
That was actually a good idea from Goldar, too. Everybody's contributing this episode. Squat's idea to switch the controls, to take out a couple of the Rangers. Goldar with the idea to send him down inside the lamp so he's not noticed by Zordon right away.
And by the time he does, it will be too late. Right?
We'll get back in the lamp now.
And Baboo sucking up to Rita and ordering the genie around. Okay. Back to the unimportant. We switch places. Ha ha ha. Everything's awful.
My hair, my makeup. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I trusted you with an elementary processing tutorial, and you turned my transmission decoders into a synaptic nightmare!
What's wrong?
Yeah, I've never seen you guys in each other's face before.
Billy's invention switched our brains.
I love that they had no idea before that. Like, they hadn't seen them talking. That Kimberly looks like a mess and is using all of Billy's vocabulary, and Billy's acting like a valley girl.
Afraid
Although,
so.
actually, up until this point, Kimberly had started going away from the valley girl type dialogue and just being a regular girl.
We're gonna find that Billy geek. Oh, right after the spaghetti meatballs. Yeah, spaghetti and meatballs.
Bolt doing a skull laugh is absolutely hysterical. Paulie did a great job on that. But then again, anybody that's met Paulie at a convention or anywhere else, and Jason Narvi for that matter, knows, yeah, they weren't doing much acting as Bulk and Skull. They were just absolutely hysterically nutty in real life as well, or at least when they're at a convention in front of the fans.
Those insolent little brats are going to get exactly what they deserve. Take the monster down to earth, hidden in the lamp, and not even Zordon will know his name.
Again, Goldar's idea, but Rita's repeating it. And then Goldar sends us down to Earth. Okay, so that was American footage. This is Japanese footage.
Okie dokie, here goes.
Careful, you'll drop it.
And then the lamp falling, I'm assuming, is American footage. You can even tell just by the coloring of the...
Can't you do anything
But
right?
this is back to Japanese footage. Back to American footage. Okay, so back on me for a second. I have made it a point throughout all the episodes and when I talk to people about playing Baboo at conventions or otherwise, I make it a point to say Squat and Baboo for the fact that they didn't fight. They were given all kinds of little missions, and I compare it to being 6 years old and trying to help your dad fix the car in the driveway. You really can't help, but Dad wants you to be involved, so he asked you to hand him tools. That's what Squat and Baboo were. We were toddlers. We weren't strong enough to, or capable, talented enough to fight. So we got sent on all the little side missions that needed to be done that Rita didn't want to do herself. Well, as I have stated, 99% of the time, Squat and Baboo were successful in completing whatever task we were assigned by Empress Rita. However, this is the first one where I can squarely put the blame on Squat for screwing up the plan. Why he dropped the lamp, I'm not really sure. Why he didn't immediately pick it back up, or why Baboo didn't pick it back up, no idea. That couldn't possibly come back to hurt Rita's plan. Nah. Okay, make sure we're at good speed because this is Alpha.
What are you going to do now?
There is a dangerous disturbance in the Morphin grid, Alpha. I believe
So
Rita is
Zordon
upset.
figures something's wrong.
From Angel Grove Park.
Right, Zordon.
He already knows about the lamp, though.
Look, over there, that's it.
And right off the bat, they teleport 3 steps away. Three steps away from the lamp. Zach grabs it and
Everybody, I got the lamp. What do you suppose it is?
Guys, we gotta get this thing to Zordon right away.
I don't understand, Zordon. You said this was an emergency.
Okay.
But it's just an antique oil lamp. What's so dangerous about it?
What is dangerous is the genie who was once inside it.
okay. You know all the names of all these monsters. Alpha, you're obviously have got some knowledge. You guys didn't know that genies come from antique oil lamps. All right. And if Alpha didn't understand that, fine. The Rangers, none of them heard of Aladdin or 1001 Nights or any of these stories as kids. I find that very hard to believe.
Rita has sent him to destroy the power.
Yeah. Here we go. Time killer. And we are ready to fight some putties. Again, remember Billy is taking martial arts lessons again with Jason. Back to the typical Japanese warehouse footage. Some of the same footage from the Tickle Sneezer episode.
The real danger is the Genie. Send the Rangers to his location.
Remember the bottle fell on the railroad tracks and almost got run over? Yeah, same footage. Some of it. And here's Genie. Nice shot. Again, got the typical feather in the cap. And gemstone. Usually Genie's would be pictured wearing turbans or some sort. But since he's obviously not supposed to be a human analog, they just gave him a regular hat. Do love the ears. Got the wrist cuffs. The vest, also pretty typical Genie accoutrements. Fires spears or whatever and starts exploding around them. Gets them tangled up in the web. Rangers are in serious trouble.
Teleport them here immediately to regroup.
Oh, I just hope we're not too late.
So apparently they can be teleported when they're tied up by the monsters of the week. That's kind of interesting
As you
to
have
know.
seen, Rangers, the Genie is extremely powerful.
Okay, I'm going to leave this at normal speed for a second because I just want to try to take in Zordon's plan here one more time.
You're right, like major muscle.
Nevertheless, Rangers, the power to defeat him resides inside each of you.
But we couldn't get near him.
The power to defeat the Genie resides in each of you. Okay, well, they're Power Rangers. I should hope it resides inside of them.
So how are we gonna beat this guy?
By networking our maximum energy linkage.
Correct.
And then Smart
Believe in
Kimberly, I
yourselves.
mean Billy and Kimberly's
Combine
body.
your powers, and the Genie cannot defeat you.
Okay, believe in the Genie, believe in yourselves, combine your power, Genie can't defeat you. And they did that way back in week 1 by combining the power coins to give all the strength to one of them, i.e., actually it wasn't week 1, that was in the Madame Woe episode. That was Billy volunteered to do it after his girlfriend got kidnapped. So why not use the power coins again to put all the power into one of the Rangers? I don't know. Seemed like it worked last time. It should work again. But no, just believe in yourselves, Rangers.
Yes, ready to move and in the groove.
For sure, like that Genie's done for, okay?
I just love them having to recite the other lines. It's hysterical. But again, so okay, we're going to believe in ourselves. Rita decided to come down and watch this one in person. Little shot to them. And now the Genie's all grown.
Which is my command?
Go, monster, and destroy the Power Rangers.
Why call him monster? You've called him Genie before. You know,
Let's do it!
do my bidding, Genie. I wish for you to destroy the Power Rangers. Still nobody's actually said I wish to the Genie. Just saying. Yeah. Zord stuff. We know. We can speed this up. We've seen it every episode. Blowing smoke, kicking up dirt, flying out of a volcano, leaping off of a cliff, whatever. Alright, here we go. So, in their Zords. Again, the famous backwards leaps.
Kimberly, I mean like Billy, I mean,
Genie, ready to rock.
Yeah, I love that they couldn't come up with a funny line. I mean, like, really? Because about half of the episode she comes up with a joke about the monster line. Alright, so here we go again. We're going to form Megazord. Now we're going to form... Is it going to be battle mode first? Is it just going to be right to Megazord? Let's find out. Nope, looks like tank mode to me. Tank mode has almost never worked. Don't know why they even bother trying. But nope, okay. Right to Megazord, so they got smart. They know the tank isn't going to work. We're just going to power up right off the bat. We didn't summon the sword yet, but let's see how that goes. Here we go. No more dinosaur face. Now we have Megazord robot face. And
The Power Rangers are in trouble. Repeat,
Alpha's already seeing something he doesn't like.
Danger.
Who are you talking to? Zordon's right there.
Genie's power. Perhaps that will unlock the secret to defeating him.
Trace the source of the Genie's power. Again, Zordon, you don't know Genies come from lamps? Come on. You knew he can't down there in the lamp. You sent them to find the lamp, but you don't know the lamp is the key to destroying the Genie's power. Okay.
I can't believe it.
What is it, Alpha? What have you found?
The source of the Genie's power. It's the lamp.
You must dispose of it quickly,
Wow.
Alpha.
Right.
Who
We'll
knew?
zap it in the teleporter.
Not so fast, Alpha. It must be done carefully.
And again, so okay, just zap it and it's over. No, 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 not so fast. It has to be done in a very particular way and speed and gradually, or it could backfire and destroy the grid. Well, looks like Genie's about to destroy the Megazord now too. Getting some good hits in. Megazord grabs the weapon, Genie gives a nice kick, and then the drill hits him chest, front, and center. So goodbye to your pterodactyl chest plate.
Tap into the power morphing system. Gotta get us more power before we get total.
I'll try.
Kimberly, Trini, he'll need help.
Right.
So he actually is calling Pink Ranger Billy and Blue Ranger Kimberly, which I actually thought was kind of cool. Down goes Megazord! Down goes Megazord! Okay, down goes Frazier, if anybody's a sports fan. Anyway, you know, we've got the old-fashioned hand drill that you have to crank to drill through wood or whatever.
Patience, Alpha. You must increase the power slowly. The
Really,
slightest
Zordon?
error
The
and
Megazord's about to be destroyed, and you're telling Alpha to be patient.
Easy as it used to be.
Wow. Okay, you already had the sword, the drill at his chest. Now we're backing it up. Now we gotta show him cranking. Now we show it almost hitting, you know, through the visor again.
Zordon, we've got to destroy it right now.
Just a few more seconds.
Just
Alpha.
a few more seconds, Alpha. We need to ramp the tension up just a little bit more. Let's get the kids watching really worried. And boom, lamp's destroyed. And all of a sudden, Genie's stuck in a loop back and forth and gone. And Rita with another headache. So this is 7 out of 16.
The Genie disappeared.
All set.
All right, Alpha, we gotta go. Billy and
Okay, so episode's over. They didn't need the Mega Sword this time. That wasn't the Power Sword. Wasn't the, you know, be-all, end-all to defeat the monster. Just destroying the lamp destroyed the Genie, which, again, makes sense. I get it. It was just kind of a roundabout way they took to figure out that that was the case. Okay, so making Billy and Kimberly normal, we got a little more physical reaction from them. A little more head shaking and movement.
I appear to have regained control over my snap.
Not quite again as over the top as Bulk and Skull, but it worked.
These guys, we want to go back to normal.
Now they have to admit what
My
happened.
machine? Should I?
Maybe we should teach them a lesson. Not to mess with other people's property.
I think they learned the lesson.
Again, another kid's lesson. Don't mess with things you don't understand. Don't touch other people's expensive, scientific, breakable things. Okay. And even more over the top this time with the looks and the sound and yay, of course it works. Back to normal. Well, normal for Bulk and Skull anyway. Whatever that is.
Suppose I could borrow your brain for my math test on Monday. Some people will never learn.
Alright, and there we go. The end of switching places. So, there we have it. Genie definitely had the best chance of beating the Rangers. I mean, he had the Megazord down, ready to drill through it. It was over. as long as Squat hadn't dropped the lamp, or Squat or my Baboo should have just picked it back up. I don't know what was so difficult about it. They should have had it fall like in the rocks or something, or in the water, and they couldn't get to it, and it floats away, and that's how the Rangers were able to find it. Something along those lines would have been a little more satisfying than, Rub, Genie's out, oops, I dropped it. Oh well, we don't need that anymore. Let's just forget about it. Even though Baboo yells at Squat for dropping it, neither one of them decides to pick it up. Alrighty. Now, the other thing I wanted to say, this is obviously Monster Monday. This coming Thursday is Thanksgiving. I will not be doing a show for Fiend Friday. I question about if I'm actually going to be doing the show for next Monster Monday also, because of the holiday weekend, spending some time with family. Also, unfortunately, for the second year in a row, I am moving Thanksgiving weekend. Fortunately, because we're excited to be moving to a new house. It's just very tough to do around the holidays. I do have the time off from work, which makes it nice, but it's a rush to get a lot of stuff done and be ready to go Monday morning back to work. We also are doing our traditional Black Friday, visiting the Texas Renaissance Festival. To anybody that has never been to a Renaissance Festival, if there's one in your area within a reasonable driving distance, make it a point to go. It's a lot of fun. And finally, coming up, I'm also not sure how I'm going to do the next episodes, because we have coming up the only 5-part episode in Power Ranger history. Having said that, you should all know what it is. Green with Evil. Kind of appropriate, seeing as yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of the passing of JDF. I wish I could have timed it a little better and actually had the Green with Evil start at that point. But because it's 5 episodes, I'm probably going to try to do 2 at a time, 2.5 maybe, or we'll do 2, and then just do one final episode. But I have to rewatch them again to see how that's going to work. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you all greatly. If I could ask, please hit the likes. Please subscribe to the channel. It really helps get it seen and get it spread to more people. And as always, remember, monsters need love too.